Hi, I'm Richard Danielson.
What's up, I'm Ty Taylor.
Hey, I'm Nolly Colt.
And I'm Rick Barriodil, and we
we're
are Vintage Trouble,
Trouble,
and this is our soundtrack.
The song that reminds me most of growing up is one of my favorite songs from high school. It's by The Weeknd. I'm just joking, as if. I wish. Okay, I was just saying, everyone talks about growing up is gonna date them. It's so funny.
Well,
no, my favorite song, it's true.
Yeah, true.
My favorite song that reminds me of growing up, I'm gonna have to go with Let's Go Crazy by Prince. And it's just because it's just got so many things. It's got so much irreverence in the beginning with the and I love any song that kind of builds up anticipation. It's like when you're a kid, like you have all these moods and it kind of takes care of them all. You know, it kind of calms you down, makes you sit down like you're in that classroom, and then as soon as Let's Go Crazy, as soon as it kicks in, all you want to do is run around and act wild. I mean, for me, I needed no permission to be crazy growing up, but the fact that I had that, it made all the backflips from bed to bed feel a lot higher, you know what I mean? And I remember all the barbecues that would happen, and it's because you could be sitting and eating, and the best part about it is it has a built-in time span to get from your seat to where you want to start going crazy. You have all that intro either to pull your car over, to start running around in circles. We used to do fire drills, you know, the Chinese fire drills to the cars. So like if you heard it, you pull over, like your friends are both cranking up, it's coming on the radio, you look over at each other, and look over, like, yeah, pull over on the side. You pull over and you start switching, and like people would switch drivers, change shirts, do whatever it was. And then and so I mean, it's Prince, and it's sexy, and it is a release from inhibition to wild and crazy, what you thought was inhibition before the new inhibition.
Well, well, you know, we toured a lot, so obviously the first thing that came to my mind was, you know, one of our own songs. Because there's a certain song that we play like pretty much every show we do. And it's a song that's been with us since we basically started the band. And we had written all these songs, and suddenly we got on stage, we did a couple of shows, and we were like, we need a rager, like we need to have something that we can finish with.
The
and
closer.
Just be like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Closer, rager, whatever you call it. And it's Strike Your Light with Vintage Trouble, check it out.
A song always guaranteed to get me on the dance floor, pretty much every single time, believe it or not, was Back in Black by AC/DC. Now you wouldn't really think that this is a dance song, but it got me shaking every time. And you know, from what I understand is, you know, what makes funk, for example, funk and danceable, like from that 70s sort of Bee Gees era, is a 4 on the floor, you know, so your bass drum is anchored on the 1 and 3, you know, boom, boom. So that Back in Black, it's not boom, it's just this Phil Rudd classic 4 on the floor, which is just and that is like such a primal essence of groove. I don't think there's a better dance groove. I mean, you could take all that 70s disco, you could take pretty much any funk song, you could take any song in the world, and it's not gonna groove as hard as a 4 on the floor, hard, just hitting drum groove, and that's Back in Black. And number 2 on that, it also has such attitude, you know. I mean, it makes you just feel sexy. And you know, what is dance? You know, I mean, if you don't feel sexy when you're dancing, then you're probably not doing it right. It's a sexy song to me, and it is a dancer, and I challenge anyone, or actually encourage anyone, to put that song on and see if it doesn't make you want to dance.
I was always the kid when I growing up, like, you know, at the school dance, I would stand in the corner totally scared that some girl would look at me, and I'm that guy today.
To go to your 4 on the floor comment from before, I'm going to choose The Chain by Fleetwood Mac.
Ooh! Yeah.
Yeah, because come on. I mean, first of all, it has everything you could ever want in a song, everything I could ever want in a song. It's got a good 4 on the floor. But the simplest of 4 on the floor is a 4 on the floor without even a snare. You know what I mean? And then it has the harmonies. I'm a big harmony guy. The harmonies on the verses. And then it's got the big rock and roll chorus. And then even on top of that, grabbing from all tradition. It does a double time out. It's like once you thought that it couldn't get any better. So I mean, to cover that song, you would feel like you got to cover 4 songs in one. Not to mention the concept of the lyric, which is, you know, you thought you had something that was going to keep you together, and it was a chain. And sometimes a chain is not even enough. But you know, if you don't love me now, you'll never love me again. I can still hear you saying, you'll never break the chain. So I'm gonna go with the chain. Long answer, but it's a long song with a lot of parts, and much worthy of having someone say if they could cover it, it would be that song.
You know, there was another thing somebody asked about. You know, there was a Desert Island song or Desert Island album. You know, and mine is always, it's just Donny Hathaway. These songs for you live. It's just, I just can't. It's just to me, it's my favorite record all time. And Donny Hathaway, aside from Ty Taylor, is just my favorite singer. He can just pull things out of you. And I would say that at my funeral, I would just a song for you, which I think it was Leon Russell, but Donny Hathaway's version of it. It's everything. It's everything. It's love. It's loss. It's emotion. It's happiness. It's just everything. So, and music, and there's no beating that. So let that roll, and everybody have a party.
Oh my God, so embarrassing. I mean, this is far beyond cheese on my side, man. But I gotta be honest, I grew up in Sweden, and there was this blonde girl that I kind of badly fell in love with, and she kept, that should be more like, but and she kept playing this song, and even now when I hear it, like all I think of is her, and like her, how she smelled and everything, she smelled good. And it was Mandolin Rain with Bruce Hornsby. And it's like, but every time I hear it now, it's like, that's her, so.
Yeah, I love it. That's actually good. That's not embarrassing. That's really cool. That's really cool.
The song I wish I wrote would be Imagine by John Lennon. The lyrical content in that song just pretty much says it all on any time, in any decade. So the lyrics just, I urge people to go hear that song again and just tune into the lyrics. It's so good. They say a song can exist completely on its own with maybe just a guitar. In that case, it would be maybe just a piano. You could sit and play that song on a piano and just vocal, and it stands up. You don't need any fluff. You don't need any hype. There's nothing else to it. It's just a pure song. Lyrically, musically, the way he presented it, the emotion behind it. It's classic John Lennon, and it's probably easily my favorite songs. And God, I wish I wrote that thing.
I'm going to change mine to A Change Is Gonna Come by Sam Cooke. Later done by Otis Redding as well, just because, again, it's got another long intro. No.